Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, I want to share the material about the classification of living things to you. Before I show you about the classification of living thing, you have to know what is the living things mean. A living things pertain to an organism or a life form that possesses or shows the characteristic of life or being life. The fundamental characteristics are as follows. The first, having an organized structure, acquiring energy, responding to stimuli, and adapting to environmental change, and being capable of reproduction, growth, movement, metabolism, and death. Millions of living things inhabit our planet. But did you know that they are divided into 5 separate kingdoms? Some of them, like animals and plants, are visible to the naked eye, right? But others, like bacteria, can only be seen under a microscope. Let's delve into the work of the 5 kingdoms of nature and find out a bit more about them. After you know about the living thing, you shall also know about the kingdoms in biology. What is a kingdom in biology? The system of biological kingdom in the way in which science classifies living things according to their ancestry over the course of evolution. This means that all the species that make up these 5 large groups. Some recent theories split them further into 6 or even 7, have common ancestors, and therefore share some of their genes and belong to the same family tree. As well as the kingdoms of living things, there are other taxonomic categories within the same classification system, such as, for instance, domain, phylum, class, order, and then family, genus, and species. They all follow a hierarchical order and are defined on each order. So some defines include others. In this way, the domain includes the kingdom, and then the kingdom, the phylum, the class, and so on. Now, we will share about characteristics of the 5 kingdoms of living things. All the species in a particular kingdom have similar characteristics in terms of their growth and the way they function. Now, let's look at where the family relationship that defines nature's kingdom come from. The first, nutrition, are autotrophic, is mixed its own food, or heterotrophic, is feeds on other living things, right? The second, cell organization, are unicellular, is having only one cell, or multicellular, is having 2 or more cells. The third, cell types, are eukaryotes, is the genetic material is surrounded by a membrane, or prokaryotes, is lacking a membrane. Then respiration, are aerobic, is need oxygen, or anaerobic, is doesn't not as oxygen. And then reproduction, are sexual, asexual, or through sports. The last, movement, self-moving or static, like that. And then next, the classification of living things into 5 kingdoms. Do you know that the first person to divide living things into 5 broad kingdoms was North American ecologist Robert Whittaker. Nah, the research proved in 1999 that fungi were not plant organisms. Previously, it was thought that they were, and a decade later he proposed the correction of the fungi kingdoms to differentiate them from plants. Whittaker's theory was widely accepted, and the scientific community thereby added a new group to previous 4 kingdom system, established by the American biologist Herbert Copeland in 1956. They are animal kingdom, and then plant kingdom, and then fungi kingdom, protista kingdom, the last Monera kingdom. Okay. The first, animal kingdom. The kingdom Animalia is the most evolved and is divided into large groups. They are vertebrates and invertebrates. These animals are multi-celled, heterotrophic eukaryotes with aerobic respiration, sexual reproduction, and the ability to move. This kingdom is one of the most diverse and comprised mammal, and then fish, and the bird, reptiles, amphibians, insect, mollusks, and annelid, among others. The second, plant kingdoms. Trees. Plant and other species of vegetation make up part of the plantae kingdom. One of the oldest and characterized by its immobile, multicellular, and eukaryotic nature. The autotrophs, whose cells contain cellulose and chlorophyll, are essential for life on Earth. Are essential for life on Earth since they release oxygen through photosynthesis, right? As reagents, their method of reproduction. This might be either sexual or asexual. The third, fungi kingdom. This name is used to designate the fungi kingdom, which include yeast, mold, and all species of mushroom and toadstools. Their multicellular aerobic heterotroph eukaryotes have cytidine in their cell walls, feed off other living things, and reproduce through spores. And then protista kingdom. This group is the most primitive of the eukaryotic, and all the others are descended of it. The protista kingdom is paraphyletic. It contains the common ancestor, but not all its descendants, and it includes just eukaryotic organisms that are not deemed to be animals, plants, or fungi, such as protozoa. As it is so heterogeneous, it is difficult to categorize it since its members have very little in common. The last, Monera kingdom. This is the kingdom of microscopic living things and grouped together the prokaryotes like archaea and bacteria. This group is present in all habitats and is made up of single-cell things with not defined nucleus. Most bacteria are aerobic and heterotroph, while the archaea are usually anaerobic, and their metabolism is chemosynthesis. The classification of the 5 kingdoms of nature remain the most accepted today, although the latest advances in genetic research have suggested new revision and repound the debate among experts. Such is the case for the 6 kingdom of Carl Woese and Georg Fox, who in 1977 divide bacteria into 2 types, are archaea and bacteria, and the 7th kingdom of Cavillier-Smith, who added a new group to the previous 6 for algae, called Chromista. Okay, that's all from me. So thanks for your attention. See you to the next video in the next material. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.